Hi, Tim here with my day 13 keto diet update. And a couple of things I want to talk about today. And today's show, I'm calling it a show, guys. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about net carbs. I think it's important to understand the difference between carbs and net carbs. I'm then going to show you an excellent resource, a free resource online that you can go to for keto. Some really great resources for anything from like what is keto, questions you need answered about keto, a great frequently asked questions about keto, and also places you can actually post your own questions, recipes, all sorts of things. So I'm going to go live onto that site and just show you around that site, and I suggest you do join it. As I said, absolutely free. But let's start off first with my weight loss. Today, since last weigh-in yesterday, when I weighed myself this morning, lost 0.2 of a kilogram, which is about sort of 4/10 of a pound, around about half a pound. So that brings my total weight loss now to 4.7 kilograms, which is around about 10 1/3 of a pound, give or take. So yeah, overall I'm quite happy with the progress. Things are ticking over nicely and still feeling quite good about it. So let's start now anyway, before I go too much further. And I want to show you a couple of pictures. I'm going to talk about a particular protein bar. I'm going to go through and talk about the carbs and the net carbs, just so you understand the difference, because it is very important when you're looking at labels. So let's get into that. Okay, as you can see on screen now, the product I'm talking about today is the Quest bar, and you can see on the front, if you look at the picture, you can see that it's high fiber, gluten-free, 20 grams of protein, and no sugar or artificial sweeteners have been used. And it's basically, this particular one is a natural protein bar, it's a strawberry cheesecake flavour. Now let's just turn over, and I want to show you the back of it. So nutritional facts about this. Basically, the serving size is what's obviously one bar, which is 60 grams. Calories 160, relatively high for a bar. But the calories from fat, which you can probably see on there, are actually 45. But let's have a look now firstly at the fat. You can see the fat, there's 5 grams of fat in there. And just going over to the right hand side, I want to show you the total carbohydrates now. Now you can see where it says 25 grams. So you might be looking at that total carbohydrates and thinking, wow, 25 grams, that's over the daily allowance of keto if you're looking to keep your grams below 20. But the thing is, below that, you'll see dietary fibre at 17 grams. So basically what you normally do, so the total carbohydrates is correct at 25 grams, but the net carbs is usually the 25 grams less the dietary fibre, in this case 17. So the net carbs is basically 8 for this particular bar, 8 carbs. Now this is still a reasonable amount, and I would only ever have half of one of these in a given day. But I just wanted to show you the difference between the two, and as it turns out, this one's also got some flavours. It's got freeze-dried strawberries, so it's not something you want to have a lot of anyway. But the main thing was the difference there between total carbs and dietary fibre, which is sort of the net carbs, if you will. And I've actually got an article which I'll link to on below this video, which you can go and click onto later. But the thing about it is that the reason that we're talking about carbs and low carbs is because, of course, the whole idea of the low carb diet is that we're trying to keep our blood glucose from spiking up. So we're trying to keep it, basically, that blood glucose and sugar level to be quite stable instead of spiking up and down. And technically, some foods that are carbohydrates, classified as carbohydrates, don't actually spike. Don't spike as much as other ones, and so they won't necessarily have that effect on us. So basically that's a good thing. Now fibre in this case is the example, so you can see on the example before I talked about dietary fibre. Basically the idea of subtracting fibre is that it makes good sense because fibre isn't digested in the small intestine and so isn't broken down into glucose and absorbed into the blood. And basically, of course, that's the thing we're trying to combat with a low carb diet. So generally speaking, when you're looking at the carbs for a product, if they've got the dietary fibre listed separately, you can deduct the total carbohydrates from the dietary fibre. Now, of course, it's not necessarily all that easy, and there will be some manufacturers who will try and play on this. So you do have to be careful looking at labels to make sure that they're not playing something, doing something funny, like particularly with sugars and sugar alcohol and so forth. And you'll notice in that picture before that I sent you, there was actually some sugar and sugar alcohol in there, but the sugar and the sugar alcohol in this particular product, because you can see on the front again it talked about no sugar or artificial sweetness used, is probably from the freeze-dried strawberries. So again, I wanted to make that important distinction. You can still be fooled by manufacturers, but basically that's what the difference between carbs and net carbs is. So if you're not doing it already, make sure you are reading the back of labels of products that you're looking to buy so you are aware of the differences, because it does make a big difference. Okay, the website I'm talking about today is called Reddit. Now that's Reddit. Now the thing about Reddit is it's not just for keto. There's actually thousands of different topics on this website, but however there is a subcategory for keto. And I'll put that link on the screen right now, but also if you don't want to remember that, just have a look in the description of the video and there's a link that will take you directly there. So the first page I want to talk about is the frequently asked questions, the FAQ page for keto. And basically it's a good information here, but also there's a note here that generally you don't want to post to the main keto area, which I'm going to show you shortly, until you've actually read this, because lots of your questions are actually answered on this main page, talking about what keto is, the right types of fats, what keto flu is, all those sorts of things. So there's a ton of information, as you can see on here. There's links to all this stuff if you want to get directly to where it is. There's video links, article links, all sorts of stuff. This is a great spot to really solidify your information if you're stuck on any part of keto or just want to find out more. Now the other thing that to bear in mind is there's lots of good stuff on the right hand side. Firstly, I want to point out that there's a total of 68,000 ketogenic readers. That's individual people who have signed up just for this particular keto channel, this subcategory, if you will, of Reddit. So keto is quite big, as you can see. With one website, it's got 68,000 people following it, and actually 360 people who are specifically following keto. In other words, they're probably browsing either this page or browsing the forum area, which I'm going to talk to you shortly. 360 people online as I'm making this video. Now there are some tags that are used throughout, so you want to get to know what these are. It took me a while to realise that this was actually shown on the frequently asked questions. You see SV in square brackets is scale victory, NSV non-scale victory, FP food porn. In other words, what did you cook and how did you cook it? So it's a great place, and even things like pictures, rants, all sorts of things that you can actually find out how people are going and get more information. And this is like real results from real people, so it's a really great place to get that information. And there's also lots of subcategories. For example, progress pictures, recipes. This is like different categories, subcategories again from keto, which you can get into later. And you'll find that a lot of posts in the keto area often will reference some of these. Now, for example, there's even a Keto Australia, which is just a place where you can actually post if you're in Australia for keto. So there's really lots of other stuff. So make sure you do read these these links, or have a look at these links on the right hand side. And also, I just want to point out there's lots of useful links on here as well. There's a keto calculator, carb count, 6-day meal plan, a mega video collection. There's all sorts of things here, so make sure you do spend some time on this page. Again, it's completely free. You don't have to register on the website if you don't want to, but it's there if you do decide that you want to do it anyway, which is good. So let's just go now back into the major keto chat area. I just want to show you how that works. So basically, I'm going to just change the link and get out of the FAQ. And you can see I put the link on the page on the screen there now, and again this link also to get here is also on the page as well. So here we are now in the main keto area. This is where you can actually leave questions. If you've got questions, you can comment on other people's posts, or you can vote posts up and down. So the idea here is you've got all these different categories. You can actually look for the newest posts, the posts that are rising, the hot new posts, controversial ones, top posts. These are basically self-moderated, because to a large degree Reddit is self-moderated. So this particular article here, thought I was going to be a 40 when I went to buy pants today, but I'm a 38. Obviously she's moved down, he or she has moved down from a size 48 to 38. Now this up here indicates that 49 people have clicked the button to upvote it, which means that they like it. So the fact that it's self-moderated, what that means is if anyone does post low quality information, like for example they're trying to sell a product, or they're actually not talking about keto or talking about something else, the actual community tends to vote it down. So if you just click hot, you normally get the latest things that are fairly high and people have actually voted on. So it's a good way for you to make sure that you get to the right information. And you have got other categories if you want to see new posts. These are posts that have just been posted recently. This one's only 19 minutes ago, 44 minutes ago, 1 hour ago. And again, a great place to actually find information. But once you actually find something, and this is obviously a heading, if we wanted to go into, say, this one, 15 million reasons for low-fat diets, you can either click on the heading, or you can click on the comments. And basically, once you do that, you've actually got, obviously someone submitted a link, and you can click that link and go and read the article, or you can actually just read all the points. So it's going to be a good spot if you want to. You can click on the article, go and have a read of it, and you'll find there's some good information in there. And then once you've read it, you can go back to Reddit, for want of a better term. You can see where the name comes from now. You can go back and people will actually comment on it. And look, it's not all pro-keto. There will be people there who are certainly not happy with it. And they'll be mentioning that they, I'm sure if we have a look at a post, you'll find some people criticising it. You see, no, this is not true at all. There is evidence, blah, blah, blah. So it's a good place to have a good discussion. And usually the facts get broken down to. So you can see that this guy was saying, no, it's not true. And someone's actually come back and said the statement refers specifically to low-carb diets and diabetes, and he's actually posted some links. And he's got lots of votes voted up, so obviously he's actually provided some good information. So you can see where I'm going with here. It's a great site to get lots of information about keto, and look, entirely free. And if you want to post, then yes, you'll need to register. To do that, just look up here in the top right hand corner. But if you merely just want to read, you can actually read this site and get a lot of information out of it without ever signing up for it or anything like that. All right, so that's basically the keto diet. The Reddit keto diet sort of category, for want of a better term, which I absolutely think is fantastic. All right, let's go back to the main screen. Okay, so there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that today. That was actually quite an interesting site, so if you are interested, certainly do sign up for the Reddit. And make sure, again, that getting back to the net carbs, you are aware of the difference between the total carbs and the net carbs. That's very important to know. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click this button here. As you can see it on the screen now, that's the like button. Please do that. It helps spread the word and get other people to actually find my videos, which is fantastic. It's a win-win. Also, if you want to comment on my videos, please do so. That's over there, right over there. If you do that, I will actually respond to any questions you might have. And lastly, and probably most importantly, please subscribe. That's right, click that button right there now. You can do that right now while I'm talking, and you can subscribe to my channel, and you'll be updated automatically every time I release a new video, which is often. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another video soon. Cheers for now.